Yo, it's your boy Smoke about their Madden video. Today's video, we're doing a San Francisco 49ers rebuild after they have drafted Mykel Williams, the right end, out of Georgia in the 2025 NFL Draft. Now, the 49ers did lose a lot of people in the offseason, one of the big pieces being Dre Greenlaw. So they lost a lot of big names in free agency, but we are going to try to rebuild the San Francisco 49ers. So in the first year of the 2024 season, we didn't do any moves before the season started. We make playoffs, so I'll go at 11-6. The 49ers are a pretty good team, but hopefully they can stick to it because they, like I said, they did lose a few big pieces. Looks like Mac Jones played a little bit in the first year here. So Mac Jones definitely played a lot, actually. So it looks like Brock Purdy got hurt. So Mac Jones is going to have 3,252 passing yards, 28 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions. While Brock Purdy is going to have 940 yards, 9 passing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and a 72 completion percentage. In the rushing game, Christian McCaffrey is going to get 949 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns, averaging 5.3 yards per carry with 0 fumbles. Then we got Isaac Gurgendo. He's going to have 199 rushing yards with 0 rushing touchdowns. Mac Jones is going to have 52 attempts for 175 yards and a rushing touchdown. And the leading receivers are going to be Ricky Parasol with 82 receptions with 1,065 receiving yards and 15 receiving touchdowns. Jawad Jennings with 1,009 receiving yards and 10 receiving touchdowns. George Kittle with 54 receptions, 508 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. And Demarcus Robinson is going to have 43 receptions for 469 yards and a receiving touchdown. Defensive side of the ball, this is definitely going to take a hit, but hopefully we see Mykel Williams somewhere around here. So Fred Warner is going to lead some tackles. Not surprising there. Tackles for loss is going to be Nick Bosa. That's not surprising either. Mykel Williams is going to be third on the team with 12. Nick Bosa is going to have 9.5 sacks leading the team, and Mykel Williams is going to have 5 sacks. And then interceptions is going to be Richie Grant with 3, Fred Warner with 3, Dermot Lenore with 3, and a couple other people got 2. And we were first-round exits, so we were the 3rd seed, but the Washington Commanders, they beat us in the first round to a 21-23 defeat against Washington. I wonder if Brock Purdy was even healthy, to be honest, or if Mac Jones was playing this game. We only lost by 2, so it was a very close game. Looks like they got a lot more offensive yards. So Brock Purdy was still injured, it looks like. Jane Daniels is going to have a passer rating of 118.8, 205 passing yards, and 2 passing touchdowns. While Mac Jones is only going to have 184 yards. He does have 3 passing touchdowns, though, but he does have an interception as well, and a passer rating of 97.9, as he was sacked 1 time, and a completion percentage of 57%. Brian Robinson was able to have 21 attempts for 84 yards. No touchdown, though. Jaden Daniels had 54 yards and no touchdown, while Christian McCaffrey is going to have 32 yards and no touchdown off of 8 attempts. Mac Jones even ran the ball a little bit, getting 10 yards. Demarcus Robinson is going to have 5 receptions for 84 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Terry McLaurin's going to have 7 receptions for 77 yards and a receiving touchdown. Noah Brown's going to get a touchdown. Deebo Samuel facing his former team, and he gets a victory. So that is good for Deebo Samuel. Leading tackles, Fred Warner. Tackles for loss, not going to be many people up there. Alfred Collins and Yardy Gross-Moss get sacks, and interceptor is going to be Adoris Washington. So in a rebuild, I'll normally show you guys who we're going to be losing in free agency before we sign the free agents, but if we don't lose anybody important, I just don't go and show it because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't have much significance if we lose like a 60 or a 70 overall. But anyway, this is who we signed. Elijah Molden, a free safety who's an 80 overall at 26 years old. Cam Akers as a backup piece, 79 overall, he's 26 years old. And Dante Jackson, a 77 overall, 29-year-old cornerback. And this is who we drafted. It's auto-generated since we can't predict 2 years down the road, obviously. Well, technically 1 full year down the road. So it's going to be a left guard, Riles, and he is a 78 overall. And then we got a strong safety who's a 68 overall. Jared Spiegel, who is a 68 overall. Wide receiver, right outside linebacker, who's a 63. And then we got a middle linebacker who is a 66. Then we got a tight end who's a 67, then a 63, and then another 63. The second year in this rebuild in the 2025 season, San Francisco 49ers go 11-6 again, and they're going to make playoffs this time. They are going to face the Green Bay Packers in the first round. We are an 88 overall. We have a 92 offense. Looks like Brandon Ayuk was top 3 in receiving yards as well. And we're going to have Brock Purdy back for a full and healthy year. So let's go and see how everything works out there. Brock Purdy with 4,130 passing yards. And keep in mind, Brock Purdy is the guy who just got a massive payday. So the man with the big contract, he gets 39 passing touchdowns, 16 interceptions, a 69 completion percentage, a passer rating of 110, and he was sacked 37 times. Not a bad year. I like how many passing yards he got. That's a lot, but interceptions is a little high if I do have to critique, but it wasn't a horrible year at all. Christian McCaffrey, he's still really good, but obviously we're going to see some kind of decline. 174 attempts for 782 yards and 7 rushing touchdowns. No fumbles on the year for Christian McCaffrey, though. Brock Purdy's going to have 97 attempts, 397 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. Cam Akers going to have 158 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk going to be top 3 in the league with receiving yards, as he has 1,328 receiving yards off of 80 receptions and 19 receiving touchdowns. Ricky Parasol is going to have 72 receptions with 908 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. And then George Kittle's going to have 74 receptions, 847 yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns. Jawan Jennings, he's going to have 38 receptions for 464 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey is going to have 305 receiving yards with 1 receiving touchdown. Fred Warner is going to lead us again with tackles, this time with 122. Then Renardo Green with 92 tackles. And then tackles for loss is going to be Nick Bosa again with 22. And then it's going to be Mykel Williams with 16. He's second in the team now. Sacks is going to be Nick Bosa with 12.5. And then Mykel Williams is going to have 6.5. Interceptions, Damone Lenoir with 7 interceptions. And Fred Warner with 4, leading the way for us. Now, we didn't get far again in the playoffs. We are another first-round exit. This time, we only put up 14 points, and we were the 2nd seed, and we were facing the 7th, obviously. But we only put up 14 points, even though we were the 2nd seed. We lose 19-14 to the big-time San Francisco 49ers rivals, the Green Bay Packers. So let's go and see how we lost this matchup. And it's not coming from the passing game, or maybe it does, because Jordan Love didn't do good, because he had 252 yards, which is all right. But he had 0 passing touchdowns, and he had an interception. But Brock Purdy didn't do all that great either, because he only had 188 yards and 2 passing touchdowns with 3 interceptions. Christian McCaffrey was 72 yards on the ground, averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Jordan Love was 6.5 yards. Brandon Ayuk is going to have 92 yards off of 8 receptions for 1 touchdown. Christian Watson's going to be the leading receiver for the Green Bay Packers with 4 receptions, 76 yards, no touchdown to show, though, obviously. Romeo Doubs was able to get over 50 yards. Edgerrin Cooper is going to be the leading tackle in the game with 10. Fred Warner is going to have 9 tackles. Quay Walker is going to have 8 tackles. DJ Reader is going to have 2 tackles for loss. Sacks, there's going to be 1 for Nick Bosa, half 1 for Fred Warner. And Jair Alexander is going to have 2 interceptions by himself, and Xavier McKinney has 1. And these are the people we are going to be signing in this year's free agency. We didn't lose anyone too important yet, but we're going to be signing Deron Bland. He's definitely going to help out our corner room a lot. A 90 overall, and he's only 27 years old. He's got 90 speed. He will definitely be a good utility to add. Tutu Atwell, we just need a little bit more receiver depth, and Tutu Atwell does pretty good. And we need a backup quarterback because I believe we lost Mac Jones. So we got Aiden O'Connell. These are the people that we're going to be drafting. Randy Kaufman, auto-generated right outside linebacker, who is going to be a 77 overall in the late first round. That's a pretty good pickup. And what's also a really good pickup is the receiver we got in the second round, who's a 79 overall. So we got Luke Hodge, auto-generated receiver, 79 overall in the second round. Then we're going to have Larry Roberts, who's a 70 overall quarterback in the third. And then we're going to have Mitch Reddick, who is a 67 overall, then another 67, and then another 67, and then a 63 overall. So no one too important. We do need O-line pieces for sure, though. So I'm going to do this big trade with the Buffalo Bills. We're going to get Connor McGovern, and then we're going to get Spencer Brown. We do need O-line pretty bad. We're going to have a first, a second, and a fourth, and a seventh. All in different, well, not all in different years, but the first and second are in 2027, and then the fourth and the seventh are in 2028. That would definitely help us, and it did help us a lot. That O-line additions and Deron Bland signing got us to be a 16-1. I don't think I've ever been with a team that's been 16-1. So Brock Purdy, let's go and see how he does. 4,633 passing yards with 41 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a completion percentage of 71%, and only sacked 28 times, a passer rating of 117.9. Absolutely amazing year for Brock Purdy. That is definitely the reason why he got his contract. He didn't play this great before, but I mean, still, definitely worth that contract if he's putting up those numbers. Christian McCaffrey, like I said, he's still kind of declining, but he's still solid, 996 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns, 1 fumble. Brock Purdy with 331 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Brandon Ayuk is going to continue to be a massive stud for us with 56 receptions, 1,027 yards, and 12 receiving touchdowns. Ricky Pearsall is also developing into a solid second option with 75 receptions, 867 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. George Kittle with 82 receptions, 815 yards, and 7 receiving touchdowns. Now the defensive side of the ball, Fred Warner is going to lead us again with tackles. Again, not shocking because Fred Warner is good. Then we're going to have Malik Mustafo with 97 tackles, and then Deron Bland's going to be up there a little bit in tackles. Tackles for losses is going to be Nick Bosa with 17, then Mykel Williams with 10. Then we're going to have an auto-generated player, I believe. Then 9.5 sacks for Nick Bosa. Mykel Williams only had 2 sacks this year, so that is a little rough, but he is definitely better at the run game than the pass rush. Interceptions leader is going to be Fred Warner with 6. And this time we actually do go far in the playoffs as we're making a Super Bowl appearance. We're going to be facing the Baltimore Ravens. So obviously we're the first seed since we went 16-1. We faced the Atlanta Falcons in the second round. We win 26-20. And we win the NFC Championship against the Dallas Cowboys. Now we are facing the Baltimore Ravens in the big game. And we go into the game to see the presentation. And they still have Lamar Jackson, Roquan Smith, and all the main core. I mean, you got to think this is only 2-3 years down the road. So their roster is going to look pretty similar. But we're going to have a San Francisco 49ers, Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl, just like we did, I believe, around 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, about 12 years ago. But I remember the Harbaugh Bowl, and I believe the lights went out during that game as well at some point. But anyway, we're going in. We're super simming. It is tied 7-7. It's around the end of half, and they're going to take a 7-point lead. It's 14-7. Now it's 17-7. Our offense is not clicking, and we finally start to get some points on the board. But it's going to be too late as we lose in the Super Bowl 24-14. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are going to hand us that out. There's Kyle Hamilton. Looks like Derrick Henry's still on the roster as well. Like I said, Ronnie Stanley, a lot of the core pieces are probably going to be there. Let's go ahead and check out the statistics since we were not able to get it done. And Lamar Jackson proves all the haters wrong about him being a playoff choker in this scenario. And he does really good passing with a passer rating of 133.7, 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 248 passing yards. Brock Purdy's going to have 240 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown with 0 interceptions, and he is going to have a passer rating of 114.3. Derrick Henry, he did good, but not like substantial. 12 attempts for 46 yards, average 3.8 yards per carry, no touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, only 5 attempts for Christian McCaffrey. Probably should have gave him the rock a lot more. Rashad Bateman's going to be the leading receiver for Lamar and the Ravens with 10 receptions and 111 yards and 1 touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 6 receptions, 87 yards. Ricky Pearsall is going to have 5 receptions, 52 yards. George Kittle is going to have a little bit of receptions, but not a lot. Fred Warner is going to have 10 tackles, and then Roquan Smith is going to have 7. Tackles for loss is going to be Mykel Williams with 1. Sacks is going to be Shamir Stewart. There are no interceptions thrown in the game. And we are going to take Rashad Bateman in free agency after that Super Bowl loss. So he just gave us the L in the Super Bowl, but we're going to be taking the Baltimore Ravens number 1 receiver, 87 overall, 27-year-old Rashad Bateman. Welcome to San Francisco. Hopefully you help us out. Not that our offense is bad, but we could use another receiver. Ricky Pearsall is a pretty solid second option, though, and we got an 82 overall safety as well. And this year we go 11-6. We're facing the New York Giants in the first round of the 2027 playoffs. 90 overall. We're now a 92 offense, and we're still an 88 overall defense. So some improvement there. It looks like Brock Purdy was top 3 in passing yards. So another good year coming for Brock Purdy, probably. 4,368 passing yards, 40 passing touchdowns with only 10 interceptions, 71 completion percentage, and he was only sacked 32 times. and a passer rating of 110.8. Very good year for Brock Purdy. Again, this is the kind of contract. This is why they gave him that big contract. Christian McCaffrey, we're still rolling the dice with him. I mean, this will probably be his last year, if I'm being honest. He hasn't regressed a whole lot, though, but still putting up 917 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, and 0 fumbles, average 4.1 yards per carry. Brock Purdy, 404 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns for us. Brandon Ayuk is going to have 73 receptions, 938 yards, and 16 receiving touchdowns. George Kittle is going to have 866 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Then Christian McCaffrey is going to have 816 receiving yards. And I think Rashad Bateman was hurt this year because he is not listed at all. So he must have had a season-ending injury, which is very rough. But Fred Warner's going to have 109 tackles and lead our team. Deron Bland's going to have 71. We're going to have Thaddeus Griffin, looks like auto-generated guy, lead tackles for loss. Nick Bosa's going to have 7.5 sacks, and Mykel Williams is going to have 6. Interceptions is Fred Warner 4, and Lindor is going to have 5. Fred Warner had 5, Lindor had 4. We're going to the Super Bowl again. This time we're facing the Indianapolis Colts. So we beat the New York Giants in the first round. Then we faced the Green Bay Packers. We beat them 35-24. Then the Philadelphia Eagles beat them 34-31. This time we're facing the Indianapolis Colts. And I did not think the Colts would make a Super Bowl appearance in the 2027 season, according to Madden. But, I mean, let's go ahead. I mean, to be fair, I didn't think the 49ers would make back-to-back Super Bowls. Let's go ahead and try to actually get the job done this time and win. So I feel like it's probably going to be Anthony Richardson unless they moved on from him for some reason. But let's go ahead and we're going to super sim it anyway. But again, the Indianapolis Colts of all teams, we're going to be facing them. So let's go ahead and see how this pans out. It is 7-0 Colts right now. After halftime, it is now 10-7 49ers, now 14-10. The Colts leading 17-14. It's going to overtime, and we kick a field goal in overtime. They come back, and they end up winning. The Indianapolis Colts get a Super Bowl. This is Brock Purdy's now 3rd time losing a Super Bowl because he lost one in real life too. So the 49ers have been to 3 Super Bowls, and they have lost all 3 of them in recent memory. All right. Well, we are not going to check out the stats this time, but it was Anthony Richardson, just so we don't make the video super long for you guys. But Anthony Richardson, Quentin Nelson, all of them get a Super Bowl. These are players we're losing. We're going to be losing Christian McCaffrey and Colton McKivitz. Colton McKivitz is actually a pretty solid player. We're going to sign Jahmyr Gibbs this time around. We're locking him up for a 5-year deal. 98 overall. He's 26 years old. I mean, this is definitely the biggest signing by far. 98 overall running back, and he is definitely going to bring some tenacity to this offense. We got Tyrone Tracy, Martin Emerson as well. We finished only 9-8 this year, though. So we're going to be facing the New Orleans Saints in the wild card round. A 91 overall team, a 93 offense, and an 89 defense, but we only go 9-8 somehow. Don't quite know how our record isn't getting better, but let's go ahead and check it out. Brock Purdy's definitely getting a lot better, though. Oh, my God. 3,929 yards. I mean, the yards is nothing crazy, but 42 passing touchdowns with 3 interceptions is an insane ratio. And Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have 909 rushing yards with 8 rushing touchdowns. He is going to have 3 fumbles, though. Brock Purdy is going to have 458 yards with 2 rushing touchdowns and a fumble. Tyrone Tracy is going to have 178 yards. Brandon Ayuk is still going to be the leading receiver with 1,112 yards, 13 receiving touchdowns. George Kittle is going to have 79 receptions, 785 yards. Rashad Bateman was 734 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. Ricky Pearsall, 620 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Fred Warner with 109 tackles. And Martin Emerson with 91. Deron Bland is still up there with 87. Tackles for loss is going to be Nick Bosa, then Mykel Williams with 11. Sacks is going to be Nick Bosa with 10, and then Mykel Williams with 5. This year, the Super Bowl, we are we're not first round exits. We make it to the second round. We beat the New Orleans Saints 38-21, but Philadelphia Eagles, we do not get past the Philadelphia Eagles as we lose 31-13 and only putting up 13 points in the playoffs when your offense is a 92 overall is a rough scene. So Brock Purdy with a passer rating of 125.9, 194 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts with 228 yards, but no passing touchdown, no interception. Saquon's going to have 66 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Jalen Hurts with 61 yards. And that's about in the rushing game. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had 18 yards off of 4 attempts, but that's nothing crazy. Auto-generated receiver for the Eagles going to have 81 yards off of 7 receptions. Not a whole lot going in the receiving game. Rashad Bateman had 2 receptions for 22 yards. Mykel Williams is going to be our leading tackle. He's going to have 10 tackles. And the tackles for loss is going to be Mykel Williams as well. Mykel Williams started to find his stride, but wasn't able to do much. And then sacks going to be Azeez Ojulari. So we're going to do one more year. We finish 8-9, and we still make the playoffs somehow. We're going to be facing the New York Giants in the first round of the wild card. They went 14-3. I didn't show anything because we didn't do many changes, but we still got Brock Purdy, obviously, but I believe this is the last year of his big contract. So 4,073 yards for Brock Purdy, 36 passing touchdowns with 9 interceptions, 70 completion percentage. Another good year for Brock Purdy. He was sacked 37 times and had a passer rating of 111.8. Rushing is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, and this is a pretty rough year for Jahmyr Gibbs, and it looks like he was injured too. We've got the injury bug quite a bit since I've taken over the 49ers, but he's got 666 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, average 4.2 yards per carry. Brock Purdy's going to have 93 attempts for 460 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk with 73 receptions, 1,176 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns. George Kittle with 68 receptions, 717 yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns. And on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to have Fred Warner leading tackles again. I mean, he's an absolute beast. And, he still has 12 years under the belt, but he's still getting it done. Deron Bland is going to have 84 tackles for us. Tackles for loss is going to be Nick Bosa. Then Mykel Williams is going to be in third with 11. Sacks is going to be Nick Bosa with 8. Mykel Williams right behind him with 7.5. And then Josh Hilton, auto-generated guy, with 5.5 sacks. And then Josh Van Burden with 5 interceptions. And to no surprise, I mean, we only went 8-9. We barely made the playoffs. But we are first-round exits to the New York Giants. And I'm shocked the New York Giants are really that loaded. Maybe they have Jackson Dart, or maybe, they do have Jackson Dart, but maybe he went off for some reason. I don't know, though, quite what they did. But 28-14 is the final score. They got Cam Ward. So apparently Cam Ward, after his rookie contract, they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and he went to New York. So the New York Giants have the 2 highest-rated quarterbacks in the 2025 draft. They have Cam Ward and Jackson Dart. And Cam Ward had 326 passing yards with 1 passing touchdown, 0 interceptions. Brock Purdy's going to have 164 yards with 1 passing touchdown, but 2 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, he's got a high overall, but he's not been that explosive for us. 11 attempts, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to have 10 receptions with 135 yards and 1 touchdown. Luther Burden also, after his rookie contract, went to New York. Damian Lindor is going to have 10 tackles. And then tackles for loss is going to be Lindor again. And then it looks like for sacks, there's going to be Dexter Lawrence with 2, Kevin Thibodeau with 2. Interceptions going to be Drew Phillips and Josh Carley. So that is around the end of the rebuild. I hope you guys leave a like and subscribe. If you guys enjoy Madden 25 content, please make sure to subscribe and turn the post notifications on. And you check out our other videos because we post Madden 25 rebuilds and real-life NFL analysis. If you guys are interested in who won the Super Bowl in these franchises, in the 2029 year, the Minnesota Vikings, for the first time in their franchise history, they won the 2029 Super Bowl against the Jacksonville Jaguars. In the 2028 season, it is going to be the Cleveland Browns winning the Super Bowl. And Shedeur Sanders is going to be the Super Bowl MVP. Shedeur Sanders is the Super Bowl MVP for the Cleveland Browns as he leads Cleveland to the first ever Super Bowl in their franchise history. 2027 season, that is the one we faced the Indianapolis Colts in, and we lost by 3 points in overtime. Anthony Richardson was the Super Bowl MVP. 2026 season, that is when we faced Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl, and we lost to Lamar, obviously. The NFL MVP that year was Josh Allen. 2025 season, it was the Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs won another Super Bowl. And the 2024 season, they had the Chiefs facing the Cowboys, and the Chiefs winning yet another Super Bowl. Again, guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Be highly appreciated, and turn those post notifications on, and check out our other videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.